Ah, they are in my base. Alright, well, that means they will be coming up here. Hello everyone, this is Craig from Bad Cricket Gaming, and today we are playing some 7 Days to Die. If you like what you see in this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to share the link if you'd like to do that. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you've got any comments or anything, suggestions otherwise, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. All right, today is day 6. If you remember, we've pretty much secured this. We've scouted out the town out there. Yesterday, day 5, we kind of went around and remember we looked at that bunker. We cleared out the police station. And like I mentioned then, we're going to spend the next couple of days kind of working on our base here. We've got 2 full days going on before the horde shows up. So we're going to want to go ahead and see if we can prep our base for that. So here's kind of what I've been thinking. We've got this nice walled section here. I've got towers on the side, and that's only going to be useful, oh, probably, if they're coming in and approaching us. Ultimately, we're going to need some place that we can actually defend the horde from. So what I'm thinking about is right pretty much in the middle of this area out here, this courtyard. I want to build kind of like a squat tower, maybe, like a 7 by 7 square tower, put it on some stilts, like some corner columns so that the zombies kind of get underneath it without damaging the building. And then maybe we'll end up putting some iron grates in the floor so we can sort of stand over the top of them and shoot them, maybe kind of go out as they're coming in. Now, what I don't necessarily need to do is to be able to defend outside the walls, and there's really no way that I can keep them ultimately from getting inside the walls. So if you notice we've got this opening out here, this is the only way into the courtyard. I'm going to take those iron gates, the grates that you see there, I think I'm going to remove those. And this opening that you see across here, I'm going to duplicate that on this side, right around here, and on this side over here. We'll take a look on the outside about where I'm planning on putting those. So basically there's going to be 3 ways into this center courtyard. Then where there's an opening, like if there's an opening here, I'm going to put some fencing, some iron grates or something to kind of cordon off the area. So if there's a zombie, this will be open. They'll be able to come in through this way, but this will be fenced off. They won't be able to go on this side and they won't be go on this side. And so when a horde comes, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and run into the tower here. I'll probably put a catwalk or kind of a bridge from this section up here, which is the second floor I can get to, and we'll run it straight out to the tower. So I can run out into the tower and wait for the zombies to come to me, and hopefully they'll come in through one of these 3 entries, but they still won't be able to get to, there'll be fencing materials, so they won't be able to get to this area here because there'll be a fence that runs across the opening here. And I should be able to defend, oh, where'd I go? Oh, there we go. I should be able to defend pretty easily from that. If the tower gets overrun, I can always kind of run back the catwalk here and defend from this secondary area, run out along this wall and start shooting them. And hopefully the fence will contain them long enough. Let's run outside and I'll show you what I was talking about is where we might be able to come in. No zombies out here. I'm thinking like this area, this section right here. I may take out, maybe not the entire wall, maybe just, leave a single block here, and a single block there, and then take this whole section out so that they'll be able to come through. Duplicate that on the other side, make some corridors so they can easily get into the center of the courtyard there, but that won't do them any good because it'll all be fenced off to actually get to like the towers or the main building there. The only problem I'm going to have is if they actually come from this direction. As they're getting to me, they may get hung up on this wall here. I don't know if they're going to, kind of run around the side here. I don't know if they're going to path correctly through this opening that I'm going to create. I hope not. So I don't know when they normally come from. I think it's pretty random. So there's like a 25% chance that they're going to have problems. If they do, I can always sort of run out and sort of lower them down to the side and run back in there. But we're just going to see how that works. If there's a problem and I need to do something with that, we'll see how it works. If they do, I can always kind of snipe them, shoot them from this area up here because they'll be up against the wall here, and I could always climb up there and shoot them as they start trying to break their way in. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can punch holes through these walls. This side and the other side, remove those iron grates, and then kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about by the fences, and we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take a cut, and we will be back as soon as I've finished pounding my way through these walls. Alrighty, we will be right back. Oh, okay, so I'm bringing you back. This is taking me a really, really long time. It might be one thing if I had an auger or anything other than a crappy pickaxe, but as I'm chopping through these walls, it's just taken forever. In fact, it's taken me all day just to break open these two walls on either side here. But I wanted to bring you back while there was still enough light to kind of give you an idea of what I was talking about. I made the openings a little bit smaller. I may open these up a little bit wider later, but right now I just don't have enough tools or enough time to take care of it. So the idea here is I've got an opening here that the zombies can come in. I've cleared the fence. I still have to chop through these metal bars, but there'll be an opening here and an opening on this side as well. And where I'm standing now is going to be about the center of the tower. Now there'll be a fence across this entry here on either side, so they won't be able to just come around the wall and get into this outer rim. So they'll basically be able to come in on all three of these sides into this center courtyard where I am going to be sitting up above in my defensive tower. So it should enable them just to come in and stream and gather up underneath me, and I should be able to pick them off as they come through the walls. I'll be able to do that. Then there's going to be a bridge, kind of a catwalk from this section up here all the way out to where I'm standing. So I'll be able to come from the main building into the center here and wait for the horde. In the future, we might take this whole area and fill it with spikes, some water, that sort of stuff, and produce sort of a trap as they come in. If they do start coming from this end and I have a problem, I can always kind of cut a hole through this wall here and produce a tunnel through the building that they could come through, and I'll probably do that later. So what I'm going to do now is I've got it's about nightfall. I'm going to go ahead and keep chopping up this stuff through the night, and hopefully when we come back in the morning, I will have all of this done. I'm going to have to build a cement mixer and get some cement because at least the columns in this thing need to be cement. I don't want to be sitting up here in a wood frame shack because it's just going to be too fragile for that. So I think I'll keep chopping. I'll see if I can open the gate up here. Everything else is done. See if I can make a cement mixer and get started on that. And then in the morning, and that's day 7, so that's horde day. So we're going to have one nightfall and one full day to see if we can get this structure at least ready to go and completed so we can test it out on the day 7 horde. So I'll keep chopping and see if I can open this up, and then when it's daylight in the morning, we'll come back and I'll see how far we've gone and then what it is that we need to do next. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, we're back. It is 8:30 in the morning on day 7. Took me a little bit longer to chop this thing out, but I'm working through the night, and I think I've got pretty much the main courtyard finished. You can see we finished kind of the opening here. I'd already chopped that before. I put some fences up it. This was kind of the idea, was to be able to funnel them through these entrances into the center of the courtyard. I managed to break through the outer gates out here, put some more fences, and this whole interior then has got an inside fence. You see I've patched it where it's busted before. Added some doors so that we could come and go through this other section here. So it's kind of like a couple of different zones that they're going to have to go through to get into the building. These 2 blocks here are basically the middle of what's going to be the entire the tower that's going to be in the middle here. It's basically going to be a 7 by 6. It'll be 6 this way and 7 this way, and then basically right around the middle of the floor that's going to be up about maybe 4 blocks, maybe 5 blocks high, is going to be a 3x2 grate system so that I could like run around the sides here and shoot things through the grate without having to be exposed to them. There were a couple of things we had to do first. I needed to make some cement. So in order to make cement, I needed a cement mixer, and according to make a cement mixer, I guess I found out I needed a workbench. None of this was much of a problem, except in order to make both of these, I needed mechanical parts, which I had very little of. So what I ended up doing for probably half the night is I ran around outside out here and I busted up cars. I took the wrench down to air conditioners, which seems to work fine, trying to find the 30 mechanical pieces that I needed to actually produce all that. Finally did get it, but that was probably half of the night was just trying to get that stuff here. You can see that I've chopped at least a single hole because I haven't had a lot of time from the second floor. This is the bridge that's going to go across, and I got some supports here as well. I think this is out the full 2, 3, 4, 5. This is as far as it will go before it will break. But I'm pretty sure that when this comes out a couple more that I'll be able to connect these. If not, that means I'll just have to put another couple of support columns here to keep the whole thing from falling in. So I've got kind of the preliminary bid on this. I was able to, once I got the cement mixer running, I was able to craft up, I have 101 cement, and we can make more, but I think that's going to be more than enough that I need for my basically 6 columns, and probably the main floor can be cement as well. So if, it's not a big deal now, but if we end up with cops that are vomiting, it's kind of nice to have the bottom of your floor in concrete. I may be able to make this in some reinforced concrete. I don't know if I really have enough metal forged iron to really do that, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I still have to kind of excavate this area out down here, at least for the initial columns, and get this build going. Now it's already almost 10 o'clock in the morning, so I've got basically 12 hours before the zombies arrive. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take a cut to this, and I'll probably come back at a couple of different stages of the build so you can kind of see what we're doing. So let's get started, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back, and this is the defensive tower in the middle of the prison courtyard, our base. Now, I made a little mistake because if you remember, I said I had all this concrete mix. I had like 100 concrete mix, and I was thinking it's going to be more than enough. I don't need 100 blocks. But of course, each one of these blocks takes more than one concrete mix. So I didn't get very far at all. You know, I built the frameworks, I added everything up, and then I started turning them into the cement blocks, and I just all of a sudden ran out. So I've been feverishly trying to, get to the forge and make the cement, and then move that over to get the sand and the rock and everything. And then I ran out of stuff, so I've been out running around trying to get some of these rocks over here, chop it into the rocks, but it's just so slow. And I really just don't have enough time. So I think I got most of it done. Again, I think it's going to be all right. There's a few things I'll need to finish up, but this is the general idea. So the idea is as they come in, I'm hoping that instead of getting stuck out here on the outside wall, they do sort of path in, and I'm going to be up at the top, and they're just going to kind of gather under here trying to get me. I hope I didn't make it too low, but I tried to match it up with the floor level inside here, so we'll see how that works. I think it's going to be all right for this first one. So then the idea is they come in here, I'm going to be up above this, shooting at them through this, and then they shouldn't be able to get to me, and they should sort of clump up underneath here. Now, the way this is set up with the structural integrity, I can actually probably lose 3 of these pillars and still maintain the structural integrity of this. So as long as I'm not parked over to the side here where they're trying to break a pillar to get me, I should be okay. So if I just sort of hang out in the middle, they should all clump around here and not hit the pillars too much. So if we come in here, lock these up. See if I got any more cement in here. A little bit more. Sort of running out of. I didn't want to use all the stone because I need to make some arrows. Because I don't have very many bullets, and the pistol's looking pretty good. But I'm gonna try to rely on arrows. Okay, everything's locked up here. That's locked. So if I come across here, and we'll just go ahead and close this just for safety, I guess. And this is the only other place time that I had was just the wood. I ran out of wood too, so I didn't have enough time to get it since I was chopping stone down. But the idea here is that I should be able to sit up here and take them out, you know, shoot them, because I can shoot through these the rebar frame. It goes straight through, so that should be okay. This may not work very well if we start talking about, you know, the cop zombies, because they'll puke, and they can puke through this stuff just as easy as I can. But if I'm kind of keeping them behind me, I can probably, once these get filled in here. So let's see. See how far I can get. Yeah, see, that's it. Oh man, it takes so much concrete for these things, but they're pretty much indestructible. So this is the idea. I should be able to kind of spin around here and shoot them when I get to them. If I see cops, I can always sort of take them out on their way in. And then I added a bunch of torches around here, so it should be pretty bright down here. I shouldn't have any problem. Oh! All right. So let's do this. I'm going to kind of run out here. Blood Moon. Be interesting to see. I have no idea where they're going to come from. But I got about a half an hour. It's kind of cool how they make it all red. Just that blood moon. I remember when it was just the moon itself was red, but this is much different. Very kind of eerie looking. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and craft up. Wow. Craft some arrows. I'm going to kind of make, going to probably use them all. I think that's probably all the stone I have. See, now I'm out of stone. That's all right. I should have plenty. And like I said, I don't think that, you know, the first day 7 zombie horde is not that big a deal. I don't have to worry about cops on this one, or ferals, so that they're really tough. It's going to pretty much just like a regular standard horde. So I got 13 minutes to go. And I don't know where they're coming from. I figure if I can kind of soften up a little bit before they actually get here. Defend from the walls, so to speak. All right, here we go. Where are they? Ah, I hear them. Oh, here they come. Okay, so they are coming from this side. I can't see very well out here. Alright, it was not a very good softening up, so I can't see them too far. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And let's see how well this works. Why are they going that way? Gore block might be a problem. What? Oh, look at that. thinking about it. My bow. Need to repair my bow. Oh, that's fine. So these ones that have the framework on them, I can't shoot through. They're still kind of solid. I'm not sure if I'm hitting them or if I'm hitting the rebar frame. It's kind of confusing me here. As I don't fall in. Yeah, I think I'm hitting the frame more than anything. Just as long as I don't fall in. Alright, so somewhere... Where are you? Man, you sound like you are in my base. We're outside the wall.
come in through. Oh, they are in my base. Alright, well. That means they will be coming up here. Let's do this old school. See if there's any on the outside here. Oh yeah. Alrighty, it is morning, and it looks like I have at least survived. I'm not sure I would call my defensive tower a resounding success. Had a little trouble shooting them. I think it was because it was the rebar frame. I think you can shoot through it, but it's more obstructed. I think probably half my arrows were hitting the frame itself. Now that I can see out here, I can finish these off kind of the old-fashioned way. That might be all of them. Well, there. Let's go in and see if there's anything, other zombies floating around here. Do a little cleanup in here. Ah, they tore a hole in that one. Where's that other one? Okay. So let's take a look at what happened up here and what probably went wrong. There were two things that I could see that was a problem. And one was that we did have a bunch of them come in, and that's what I was talking about in the last episode, that if they came from this end here, they had no place to go, and we're basically just going to knock their way through the wall, which they did. The other problem I noticed, which I wasn't expecting, is because they knew that the pathing might get me up these stairs, it looked like a lot of them actually broke in here in an effort to get up the stairs, and I wasn't expecting that. One of the things I could probably do to remove that pathing option is that when I go out to this section out here, I can always kind of drawbridge it, and then this should keep them. There's no path to me up here now, so there's no reason why they would want to path through these stairs to get up here. So we'll have to try that next time and see how that works out. In the meantime, oops, I want to go pick that up. Where'd it go? Bummer. I dropped a bunch of wood frames and now I can't find them. Oh well. So let's see where they didn't, well, they did kind of get through here because they were able to jump over. But I don't think they broke in through any of this. Let's see what's down in here. I never got into here. There was no need for them to do that. They did come through here and broke in through this to get through this door. And I guess to get up to the top here. So that was a problem, but I think the idea was they were trying to path up the stairs to get me here. And I can eliminate that problem by removing the path by just getting those. These look fine. There's a little bit of damage on these, but hardly any. So, oh yeah, like 60 points. So these are pretty tough. So that process worked out pretty good. Now I wasn't even hardly hitting them until I removed this. And I think the problem is trying to shoot through the rebar frame is just not going to work. So I just put the rebar frame. That's because that's what I had up there. And I'm thinking, well, ideally I wanted to put some iron bars up here like we have on the front. I just didn't get any completed in time, didn't have the materials. So I thought, hey, let's just throw some rebar up there. I may think about making this a little bit wider so that I have a longer space, like this whole outside row here. That should probably be rebar. And if I pop this out one more, it will mean that I won't be able to, it might be that I can only lose 2 pillars, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. Let's look at what the damage was out here. They did come through this wall, and it looks like they pathed in pretty good. They didn't try to break in through this because there was a nice entrance that they could get to me from over here. But the backside, that's where the problem was. And I was kind of worried about that. It looked like they were coming from this, maybe spawning over in this direction, and trying to pass straight to me. This was their shortest path, so they basically just crashed through the gates, through the fencing here, and busted through some reinforced concrete. So see, they can't get through it. But I should be able to repair that now, and I think that before the next horde arrives, we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to go ahead and produce a tunnel in this wall. See where they tried to break in? We'll produce a tunnel into here to the courtyard as well, so they won't be tempted to break the wall down and then they won't get inside. The other thing I think we can do is if we go inside, they pathed pretty good into the middle here. So I may want to make this a little bit bigger. I hate tearing those up, but I got a whole week to fix it. And then I sort of recessed them down a little bit. My original plan is to kind of take all this dirt up on this entire inside section. All right. Recess it down one or two, actually, dig down two and put some iron spikes and then fill it up with water. So as soon as they come in through this section right here, and step out into this inner courtyard, they're on wood spikes. And the wood spikes will basically kill them and do the job for me. The water will keep the gore blocks and everything from building up. If the gore blocks build up on that, they're able to kind of jump up higher and can sort of touch this. With the water, it shouldn't be able to. So the water will actually be at this level, one block down, wooden spikes underneath it all. And it'll be easy enough to be able to kind of start with the middle and sort of work our way out to the edge as we go. So I think that's what we'll do in preparation for day 14 horde. All in all, this one wasn't too bad. It's pretty easy. Let's get rid of that sandwich. We'll clear up some of the rest of that, but I guess any horde you walk away from is a success. Wish that light worked. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. If you like what you saw in this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. You can share the link if you want to. That'd be cool. And if you have any comments or anything, please put them in the comment section below. In the meantime, we'll probably pick up with the next episode. I think we'll do a little repair work. We still got a couple of buildings we got to get through. And remember, I found that mini bike. So we're going to run out of resources in this town. And I think over the next week, we're going to sort of explore a little bit. See we came down this road. Let's see what's up here. There's a couple of trails back here. So we may spend an episode just building a mini bike and doing some exploration as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.